What's up guys, Jackson and Zach here with Toasty DIY, and today we're going to be putting together a Craftsman 7x7 resin storage shed, and we'll be showing you guys step by step how to do it. Let's get into it. Alright, so the first step of course is to get everything out of the box. So these pieces right here and these pieces right here are all wall pieces, and then we have two doors over here. You should get, let's see, we have one box of metal parts. We have just a long piece of metal there. And then there's another large box over here. And then you're going to have two floor pieces. You're going to have two gables. And then you're going to have a few roof pieces. It looks like 4 to be exact. And once you make sure you have all your parts, you're ready to start building. Okay, so for step one, you're going to need these 2 acrylic window panes. A bag of screws right here, which is labeled NN, or this number here. You need to make sure you have enough gasket material for each door as well. One door complete, on to door number 2. So once you're done, you should have the outside of each door looking like this, and the inside like this, with your 13 screws, the gasket kind of smashed down on the inside so you don't get water through it, and we're good to go on the doors. All right, so for this next step, you're gonna need your 2 slide bolts, which are O. You're gonna need these. That step done, so we have our top U-bolt and then our bottom one on with 4 screws. On to the next step. All right, so for step 5, you're gonna need these 2 pieces. You're gonna be basically doing the same step twice, and then you're gonna need more of these screws here, the NN screws, and then you're going to mount it with, it looks like a total of 2 screws. All right, so for step number 6, we're supposed to install a tiny little mesh screen over these here. Those are on the end caps for the gables to make sure that you don't get like wasp and stuff like that in, but not find these screens anywhere in the kit. So we either misplaced them or they forgot to include them. So on to step 7. All right, so Zach's gonna go ahead and screw this in. So this will take 6 screws, and the piece is basically like a U-channel. So it's shaped like this, so you really can't mess this up, and it should fit perfectly. And these are the NN screws that we've been using for most of the steps. So yeah, once again, we got our 6 screws in. This right here is the front header. And then over here, we have the back one. These pieces are actually different length, but you really can't mess it up because this one fits in here perfectly. All right, for step 8, we're going to be taking these 2 metal channels here, which are Y and Y, and then we're going to be using this bracket here to attach them, and you will need this hardware kit here, which are the KK and LL bolts and nuts. So once you're done using the 2 short bolts and then the 2 nuts provided, you should have a little triangular piece like this for your roof. So next up, you're going to need in that same bag 2 of the longer bolts, the 2-inch rather than the 1-inch, and then 2 more of the nuts. And you're going to need to put both of these pieces on at the same time, about like this. And this is definitely a 2-person task to keep it easy. All right, we got this step done, nice and sturdy on. All right, so for step number 10, we're gonna need to put this, and you need another one of the 2-inch bolts with the corresponding nut out of that same kit. All right, so you should end up with a kind of crazy looking piece like this. So if I had to guess, I'm thinking this is going to be part of the roof, and then these right here that are adjustable are going to go down the wall essentially, and that's how you're going to get some rigidity for your roof. So for step 11, this one's a pretty easy step. So for the next step we're going to take, it's kind of like a similar gasket as before, except there's no adhesive. So you basically just kind of form fit them into these little skylights, and then for each roof assembly, there's gonna be 4 in total. You're gonna put your skylight dome over top of it and then screw it in from the inside. NN screws, 8 in each one. You're gonna repeat that 4 times. All right, so once you have your 4 roof pieces done with the skylights, you're on to step 12. which is basically for, in case you're using like a power cord or anything, you're going to put this piece And then you're gonna have a specific hardware bag just with literally a washer and a screw, and you're gonna attach that to one of the wall panels. So find the wall panel that has this shape cut out. So that stuff's pretty easy. It can only go on one way, and this is what the inside will look like, so that you can basically slide this piece up to get like a power cord or a hose or anything like that through it. So for step number 14, you're gonna use 6 of those end screws, and these panels will line up pretty well. I just wanna make sure that you don't have any like major gaps or anything.
Can you screw through here?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like self-tapped, so you really just gotta do it till it, keep going. That's good, that's good. All right, so we got the floor screwed in with these 6 end screws. All right, so this is a pretty, should be easy, but not very fun step. So basically, each piece is gonna slide, it's gonna slot in and then slide back like that. So we got this one locked in, and now for the fun part of folding the piece over. I'm gonna move this. Yeah, all right. No. Watch, just watch. I know exactly what to do. All right, so far you should have one folding panel and one of the flat ones on. So this is step 20. We're gonna go ahead and get our easy bolts in. These are literally just plastic bolts with like a Allen head. So the next step is literally to put every single wall piece on, and you're gonna secure each one with one of those easy bolts. Let's do it. All right, so this got done with step 21, which has definitely been the longest step. Basically, putting on all these walls, it's the longest, but definitely one of the easier ones. It doesn't take a lot to figure out what you need to do, and each piece will have those 4 little plastic screws that you use that plastic Allen key for. And yeah, here we go. We're on to step 22, which is going to be putting the first gable on. All right, so we got a 6'11" man lining these up right now. There we go. All right, then we're just gonna put 1 screw in each one. It said to start. It is. Rear gable screws. All right, so you're gonna get this gable piece pretty much lined up with the edges like that. 4 screws on each side, and it will slide in to this before you do that. So it'll kind of sit in place. So we're doing step 25, which is basically a piece that goes all the way along the roof ridge cap. And that's what's gonna go into those pieces we did earlier. Yep. All right, so we got a bracket on each side for step 26. Like that. And that's the end screws, just 2 on each side. Yes, the beam is upside down because the hole is here. Yeah. All right, so one thing you gotta be careful about is make sure you actually get this piece to where the open channel is facing downwards, because we accidentally installed it facing up, and that'll make it to where you won't be able to screw in the pieces that go on the top. With 1 end screw, there's only 1 hole that lines up, so this part should be pretty straightforward. All right, so Zach's working on step 28, which is installing one of the ridge caps onto one of the roofs. Stupid. All right, we got one of them on. So we're gonna demonstrate how to put the second one on. So these are both going on the left side. This is the back of the shed right now. All right, so we're gonna line up those holes. All right, they're in. And now the pieces that we just built, we're gonna get up there. So this is the front one, right? Yeah. All right, so now we gotta clip this one in. Okay, I think I can get it.
Do you need assistance?
All right, walk it up. All right, so that lines up there. All right, we're on step 37, which is gonna be installing a bunch of these screws with the rubber washers facing upwards. All right, so you gotta push down. So I got Zach on the outside. You really are gonna have to push, I guess. Alright, you got the rest. I think 40 all the way to 42. It's basically putting in these little channels. And it's pretty obvious how they go in. They kind of clip in on one side, and then you just screw them in down the line. We just got done installing each one of these pieces. So so we just got done installing the 8 metal pieces that give the roof extra support for when snow gets on it. All right, so what's next? All right, so next step is to get the hinges on the door, and this part's toolless. They should stick out just like this. And they kind of just clip into place, and then you're gonna take bolts once we're done to actually screw the doors in. The next step is screwing in the door hinges. Here we go. Yeah. All right, so we're installing the one of the ends of the lock right now. Yep. All right, so we're installing the other side of the lock right now. It lines up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you were able to build your shed and everything works out pretty good. All in all, how long did this take us? 5 hours?
About 5 hours.
About 5 hours. You know, we had some lunch. We played around a little bit, but 2 people, 5 hours with little shed building experience as far as this time goes. So, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out the main YouTube channel. See you guys in the next one.